Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a review of the AD20S. But first, before we get into it, please subscribe, like the video, follow the Instagram, and like the Facebook page. So let's go ahead and get some size comparisons in. So, one to note, this is a AD20S, still American made, but it's the slim version, which it's still about 7 ounces, so it's still pretty hefty because this is full tie, but it is also slicier than your full thickness. The only thing that really is different is the thickness of the blade. That's about it. I'll have a comparison of the full thickness here in a second. But let's go ahead and start out with actually the 940. I normally do the 940 last, but here we are. And this is a top-down view as always, so it's going to be no skewed view. How you see it is how it is. There you go. That's also the S&G, by the way, Strider S&G. Let's do Hinder XM18. So these are going to be, these are going to be very similar. These are in the same category. That S&G, the Hinder XM18 3.5 inch, and then also this, which has not been cleaned since I used it yesterday, but the Inkosi, Crispy Inkosi, they're all going to be very similar sizes. Obviously, as you can tell, overall, the AD20 is slightly larger. Not by much, but it is. And that is the Spudgo Shaman. So, there we go. Here's the thing. It's not a large knife, by lengthwise, to say the least. It is, though, however, a heavy, full-size knife. That's just the reality of it. So, next for size comparisons, I did unbox this recently in my video log. G10 full thickness, full flat grind though. So from here it tapers down here and here. It has gotten used, as you can tell. So I'll have a more in-depth review of this coming on later, but just for thickness comparison, that's what we're looking at. There is a substantial difference. But man, the Shark Lock, I know it has gotten a lot of hype for a lot of reasons, because it is an extremely strong lock. And that's the thing, it's a strong lock that is easy to manipulate. Like a lot of the stronger locks, like the triad lock and back lock and whatnot, are strong, but they're lacking in the ease of deployment or disengagement. And that's kind of what the Shark Lock fixes, quote unquote fixes. It may not need to be fixed. The world may have been fine without it, but it's pretty great. Now, my normal 3 that I always carry is a Strider, a Hendra, and a Chris Reeve. Those are kind of my three, like, gotta carry one of those. And always normally have a backup. But this is in that rotation now. When it comes to knives that I want to carry, or am I like, okay, I have to carry one of these brands. This is up there. This is, in fact, has become part of my main rotation, just flat out. It's become one that is in my top 5 American-made knives. Like, it's up there with the best knives in my collection, for not just in general build quality, but also like of an actual EDC. Because there are knives in my collection that are far better with materials and build quality than this. Far better, but they don't make as good EDC knives. Like, they're not as EDC oriented. Yes, I'll say that this 7 ounces, this is heavy, okay? But because this is a slim, not the full thickness, it is a little bit lighter, not by much, but it is a little bit lighter. It is also slicier, so it's actually going to be more oriented to actually reforming, not just splitting things, but actually slices. So the mixture of a strong lock and being slicey and also being full tight and durable, this is one folding knife I feel like I can 100% rely on and not have an issue with it at all. Like, if this is in my pocket, I know I have a reliable, durable folding knife that I can count on in any situation that a folding knife can be in. And it's going to be durable, and it is going to be reliable. And I mean, it's super fidgety. And it's, one thing is also really nice is I can pull this out of my pocket, deploy it, cut what I need to do, boom, be done. Super quick. Super quick. Like, now a lot of people give crap to the pocket clip. I don't have any real reason to give crap to the pocket clip. I mean, that carry right there, it actually comes up to more like right there. That's actually not a ton popping out in reality of it. Yes, the lanyard takes priority over the pocket clip, which is something I don't really care for. But other than that, yeah, the pocket clip is but you can always get a pocket clip on the secondary market if you really want a different one that's a deeper carry, and that's up to you. So that's something you can change, so I don't really make it a huge negative. Things that you can't change, like the lock and the blade and the handle shape, that is things I will take down a notch on design or what have you, or execution of said design. Because don't get me wrong, a design cannot be your favorite for various reasons, but they can execute that design to absolute perfection. But there could be just a flaw in the design. But there also can be a fantastic design, but then you do it terribly, or you mess it up, or you have a flaw that isn't the design flaw, it's the execution of said design. And this design, ergonomically, great. Feels great in the hand. you have enough surface area to operate that you can choke up and have more detailed work if you so need to. And you can also obviously go back here and push through material like cardboard or whatnot. Now, some people dislike this portion of the handle just because it kind of forces your hand here and you can't actually use the back part of here. But if this is going to be a heavy use, hard use folder, you want your hand to be locked in both ways. So if you're actually using this hard, your hand can't slip up and your hand can't slip down. Because yes, it is dangerous if your hand slips this way onto your hand, but it's also dangerous for people around you, or even your leg, or who knows what is in the area, or your foot, or who knows what. If it slides out of your hand completely, it's just as dangerous. It's just different dangerous. So for a hard use knife, you do want a little bit of something to catch you. Sometimes some companies use jumping, like Hendra uses jumping to kind of catch your hand. Strider here uses a swell here to kind of catch your hand, make it less likely to fall out of your hand. Chris Reeve kind of does a little bit of a swedge here, but also does this here. But obviously jumping there. So Chris Reeve does it more subtle, but still, regardless, a heavy use folder, you want your hand to be locked in, but also locked in and comfortable. This is obviously the blade type is the drop point, not the clip point. It's a pretty bland blade shape. It's a very usable blade shape. It also carries the tip out pretty far, so that is the strength of the tip out, strength of the blade and full thickness closer to the tip, which is good for hard use. But this is also the slim, so it's not going to be as useful as a complete full thickness AD20 in that way. But this is a better EDC knife than full thickness one, because you still get the overall build quality, durability with a thinner blade, so it can be used for slicing and hard use. This one is in 204p, so basically 20 CV or M390 American version. There's not much else to really be said that hasn't already been said or hasn't already been known. These are hard to get, especially this slim. Slim is not easy to find. There are a few out there, but they're there. Yeah, the slim is probably one of the harder ones to get. The full tie slim, I should say, is hard to get. You don't see them very often, if that really ever. So, yeah, this is rare, hard to get, but also, if you're able to get it, and you see one up for sale, even if it's on the secondary market, unless it's an insane price, I would jump on it. You can get some of these guys on the secondary market sometimes for like $800, which they normally go for $650. So you are paying more, but it's all up to you kind of how you see it, because generally you can sell these back at the same price you bought it at and not really lose any money, because they're hard to come by. So that's kind of also the thing to look at, is you are looking at something you can keep, enjoy, or you have the ability to sell later if it just doesn't fit your fancy, I guess, however you want to put it. But if you do get one, you're getting one of the most durable, knives on the market, super well constructed, well finished, very little. That's the only actual negative of the AD20 is the clip, but that's something you can change. Some people think the handle to blade ratio is not great. It depends, because this allows you to choke back here and then also choke up. So it depends on how you look at it. That's the only really negative about the 80/20. Unless you really, really like flippers, then you're just out of luck. Because this can't be a flipper because of the lock. So, sorry. The only other way you could make it a flipper is if you actually sacrifice, make the handle longer, and then you have a flipper up here, you flip it there. Yeah, that's the whole thing, and people won't like that either. So really, this is the best way to kind of have it overall. Yeah, the only negative really is the clip. And that's it. And if you don't like heavy knives, then obviously the weight. But if you don't like the weight of this guy, you can get a G10 version, and it'll be lighter, significantly lighter. You get 7 ounces to, I think, 5 ounces, maybe even a little bit less than that. It's like 5.5 to 5 ounces. The G10 is about 2 ounces lighter than the full tie. Not surprising, to be honest, but again, so depending on how you look at it, the two negatives are the pocket clip and the weight, and I understand both, but you're also getting a super durable blade. So it's hard not to recommend this. If you can get your hands on one and it isn't an astronomical price, go for it. Because one, it's durable, one, it's extremely well made, another, it's also US made. It's extremely easy to deploy, extremely strong lock, great ergonomics. The slim, at least, is extremely slicey. No regrets there on that portion. Yeah. That's really gonna be it. I mean, yes, I do recommend it. I recommend it for the right price. Sometimes it's hard to find that. It's been a while since I've been this excited about a knife that was not a Strider Hinderer or Chris Reeve. Or at least this, like, wanting to get more, if that makes sense. Like, picking up a new knife and like, man, I want more of this brand, or man, I want more of this model. I haven't really had that, truly had that until the AD20. And so it fully met the hype for me. But this knife is designed for hard use, and because it's a slim, hard use and being able to still slice. The AD20 in general is a hard use folder that can take a beating and that can also handle any task that you put at it. Again, clip, not great, but you can fix that. Weight, yeah, don't like the weight of 7 ounces. I get the G10 one, it'll be more like 5 ounces, which is still heavy to some, but it will be more doable for some if you want a really hard use folder. I mean, that's gonna be it for today. I mean, there's not much else to say about it. Yeah, highly recommend. I love the AD20. It's up there in my most carried knives now. Since I got it, it's just simple. I use it constantly. have no problem with it. In fact, really like it a lot. Anyways, I'll probably get more if I possibly can. That's how much I like it. I don't. Sometimes I'll get a knife and new brand, and then I will have it and never get another one because it doesn't. I'm not pushed to get more. I'm not like, yeah, this makes me want to get more, but this makes me want to get more. But I will see you guys in the next one. Please, again, subscribe, like the video, follow the Instagram, and like the Facebook page, and I'll see you guys in the next one.